There are several programs, interviews, and videos that try to broadcast terrible ways companies try to take advantage and prey upon these young trainees and idols. The demanding, restricting, financially burdening, and strenuous conditions these individuals face are far worse than we know. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories, and if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. In a previous video, I touched on the topic of a handful of idols who spoke out against their companies over mistreatment, mismanagement, poor working conditions, underpaid wages, and so much more. I asked my viewers to comment below on my previous video of groups and idols who went through similar situations, and boy, did you guys deliver. So, to cut this intro short, let's get into the video. Yoojin is a former member of Bonus Baby that debuted in 2017 under Motto Entertainment. Yoojin was 15 when she began training under the company. She explained that being an idol was harder than she expected. She had damaged her vocal cords because she had to change her singing voice to fit the group's image, and dancing didn't come to her easily. She is also currently in the process of getting treated for a cervical disc problem. As a rookie idol, the group had to wake up and be at the broadcasting station by at least 2 or 3 in the morning to get their makeup and hair done because they would be first in line to rehearse. The girls got roughly about 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night, if they were lucky. They would be scared to even nap in fear that it would make their voice hoarse. The company expected the best out of them, so they'd practice and practice warming up their voice until they were on stage. The girls were practicing for long hours a day. They would be unable to leave the building unless they completed the daily missions the company set out for them that day. They had to film themselves dancing and could not leave until all the members were synchronized. And there were days when practice would bleed into the next day all the way until 7 a.m. She further continued to explain that her and her members were restricted from using their phones. Yoojin's parents live overseas, and the only way to communicate with them was through the phone. On the topic of weight, the company told them they could not weigh more than 46 kilograms, aka 101 pounds. They would weigh the girls almost every day, weighing them as soon as they arrived at the building and before they left. There were days where they even had to step on the scale at least 10 times a day. Desperate to fit the image her company wanted, she would live off of a packet of soy milk, taking 1 or 2 sips a day after exerting her body from training. It got to the point where the company began restricting the idols from even seeing their families outside of the company in a way to control their appetite. Their parents were only allowed to see them for an hour inside the building, so they wouldn't be tempted to eat out. Being in such an environment, her depression worsened, and her anxiety consumed her once she left the company. Yoojin grew up fear of large crowds and would push herself to break out of her comfort level. Yoojin left the company in September of 2018, and her group has been on hiatus ever since. She is currently attending a music academy and has changed her passion to become a music teacher instead. Wei was a former member of Crayon Pop that debuted in 2012 under Crayon Entertainment. She did an interview with the Asian boss on her experiences as a trainee and idol and the harsh environment she had to live through. She explained that the moment you become a trainee, you have to change everything about yourself. The way you act, the way you eat, how much you eat, and train all day. Wei and her members would train and work from 4 in the morning to midnight. With little to no sleep, the idols would be exhausted, but her company told them that they had to get used to working these type of hours after they debut. The interviewer asked her about dating as an idol. She responded that being under the company, you were heavily restricted and monitored to the extreme. They had to ask Chrome beforehand to go out or even see their family. She retold the time her father visited the company because it was her birthday. Due to her company's strict guidelines, they turned her father away upon arrival. She said, "I couldn't even see my family, so dating was totally out of the question." When her and her members would make mistakes while training, they'd threaten the girls, telling them they wouldn't debut and kick out members frequently. They'd say, "There's no album coming out. That's it. You're no longer a part of Crayon Pop. Pack your bags." Wei said, "I must have packed my bags 3 or 4 times." She would leave, but the company always told her to come back. And of course, she complied. The singer also explained the financial side of her contract. The contract was set in a way that the company benefited more than the artist. The company would take 60 to 70%, while the idol would make 30 to 40%, but expenses were split 50-50. She was young at the time and had a bad feeling about the contract, but accepted the terms not knowing how her financials would be handled. Before they could even make money, they had to pay back their trainee debt. The members made it big after their debut and went viral with their debut song for its unique concept and catchy beat. The girls were so viral that they caught the attention of Lady Gaga and were asked to be her opening act for her North American tour. The members were ecstatic upon hearing the news, and their company accepted the offer. Wei said that she was excited to do the event and thought for sure that they'd finally get paid because it was such a large event. Once they flew back to Korea, they asked the company about payment. The company told them that they are still individually in debt. The reason behind withholding their revenue was because the girls were in America. They were unable to do events, so they needed to keep working to pay them back. The members did not receive a paycheck till a year and a half after their debut. To sustain themselves, the members had to take out loans for their basic human needs like shelter and food. With their first paycheck, they used it to pay back their loans. Alexander, also known as Xander, is a former member of U-Kiss that debuted in 2008 and left in 2011. He is also one of the first foreign idols to make it in the scene. He was scouted by NH Media Entertainment and became one of the first members to join U-Kiss. In an interview with YouTuber Jakey Out, he talked about his experience of pursuing a career in Korea and being an idol. Alexander is Korean, Chinese, and Portuguese. He knew very little Korean and struggled during his early years, not knowing the language and adapting to the cultural differences. He explained that he is someone who likes to ask questions. The staff would often get frustrated with him and yell at him to just comply and not ask questions. Further in the interview, he revealed the true reason behind his departure from the group. Initially, he never wanted to open up about the reason because he did not want to affect the group or make the company look bad. He claimed the company told him they wanted to change members around the group because the group wasn't doing as well as they thought they were. Alexander said that he helped and taught the company how to promote their group on social media, amongst other things. He said that he was very upset that the company would try to dismiss him, and they said they were going to move him to an overseas unit to make room for new Korean members. A staff member spoke to Alexander separately and said, "Think about it, Alexander. Do you think you're popular in Korea? You're not popular." He took those words to heart and was manipulated to think that he had to comply with their company's decision. When his aunt caught wind of what the company was doing, she took matters into her own hands and talked to the CEO herself. She told the CEO, "You scouted him because you wanted him to be in the group, but now if you're saying that he has nothing to contribute to the group, then you should have him leave peacefully." As I briefly touched on in part 1, you will know that it is a long and costly legal battle for an idol to terminate their contract with the company. But in Alexander's case, since they were on somewhat good terms, they canceled his contract and let him leave. NH Media then went on to release a public statement that Alexander left to continue his education and pursue a new path. Shortly after leaving U-Kiss, he started a solo singing career and transitioned into acting. Netizens were shocked and upset to find out that he was kicked out of the group. They sent him loving and encouraging messages of support and wish him more success and opportunities for the future. What's Up was a 7-member girl group that debuted in 2013 under Mafia Records. They grabbed the attention from the public for their scandalous dance moves, beautiful tan skin, and revealing clothing, showcasing an image rarely seen in K-pop by a girl group at the time, and brought their version of twerking to K-pop. In 2017, members Nara, Jinju, and Dan filed a lawsuit against Mafia Records to nullify their contracts. Nara had previously appeared on Unpretty Rap Stars 3 in 2016. The media claimed Mafia Records pocketed her money she was supposed to receive, and they used it to pay off her trainee debt. However, Nara fired back and stated that the reason she was suing was because she lost trust in her company. I was curious if I was really receiving the accurate amount stated in the contract. I've been asking the agency for 2 years now. The company said they didn't have money, so I wanted to know how much they'd been making. I waited patiently for 2 years. I asked about the statement when I first debuted. I believed it when they said the agency was having a hard time financially, so I waited. Finally, after 3 years, I received the statement and it wasn't clear. A representative from Mafia Records released a statement. Right before Lunar New Year holidays, Nara submitted a preliminary injunction to cancel her contract. We have been having issues with Nara's payments since the end of last year because the company's return on investments is low. We were not in the situation to pay her and made it very clear, but she continued to participate in club events and do other jobs without our consent. She responded and said, The agency is distorting the truth. I am sorting out the legal aspects with my lawyer in charge. I consulted with the company to decide on my next activities and sent in official documents to prove my losses, but they didn't listen to me. When Nada and her members asked the company about their financial situation, they asked the company to show evidence of their revenue statements. Nada then asked the company to terminate her contract, but they refused. During this time, WhatsApp was preparing a comeback, and this scandal hit the company hard. Despite the lawsuit, the company pushed forward with the remaining members and made a comeback. The two members, Tan and Jinju, were also pursued legal action to terminate their contracts, but the company revealed all the members held a heavy debt to the company. In 2017, Nada won her legal battle against Mafia and was able to pursue her solo career. Jessica was a former member of Girls' Generation, debuting in 2007 under SM Entertainment. Girls' Generation is one of the biggest K-pop girl groups of all time, so it came to a huge surprise when headlines were made that Jessica was no longer a part of the group. In 2014, Jessica made a post on her Weibo account and shared this. "I am devastated. My priority in love is to serve as a member of Girls' Generation, but for no unjustifiable reason, I am being forced out." Once the news hit the media, SM stocks took a sizable hit since Jessica was one of the most popular members in the group, and Chris, former member of EXO, had just left EXO and filed a lawsuit around the same time. Many netizens were questioning what happened behind the scenes for SM to kick out one of its most profitable members. From what we know, it started when Jessica expressed to SM that she wanted to start her own fashion line. Her fashion line was growing bigger than both SM and Jessica expected. SM released a statement following her Weibo post confirming Jessica is no longer a part of Girls' Generation. They claimed that the idol began prioritizing her clothing line over her group activities and expressed earlier that she wanted to leave the group. SM continued they could no longer work around her schedule and decided to move forward with her departure earlier than originally planned. Although Jessica would be departing from the group, they would continue to manage her solo activities. The very next day, Jessica fired back with her official statement, telling her side of the story. She said that she was given a notice of departure by the company and she was taken aback. She further claimed that she continued putting her group first before her personal life or business. While in preparation to start her business, she consulted both her members and SM multiple times out of respect and asked for permission. Once she was given the green light, she proceeded with her business, but soon after, her members had a change of heart and held a group meeting, telling Jessica to quit her business or leave Girls' Generation. Coco Sori was a female K-pop duo under Mole Entertainment. They debuted in 2016 and caught the public's attention for their obscure songs and music videos. The group had found their niche in the K-pop community and found a small fan base. Being under a small company, it was hard for the girls to make frequent comebacks or even question any solo projects. Coco, one half of the duo, is a YouTuber and had full control of her own channel, which is very rare for an idol to run their own social media accounts, especially on a platform like YouTube. In November of 2018, Coco went on stream and reacted to one of her own solo debuts, and expressed her frustration with her company. She alleged that the company treated her and Sori very differently, to the point that the favoritism was obvious. The first accusation was Coco said that she hasn't been publicly supporting Sori or promoting her solo because Sori was getting a lot of help from the company already, while she did not. The second, she explained how the company does everything for Sori on her channel. They edit, film, or upload her videos for her, while Coco runs her channel all on her own. For this reason, Coco cannot show her support to her member because it would be fake.
I haven't been supporting her promotions because she's getting a lot of help from the company while I'm not, on the other hand. That's the reason why I haven't really been talking about her. It's because I can't really fake being okay. And she keeps talking about me in her videos and on her showcase. I didn't even get a showcase for my debut.
In a separate stream, Coco talked more in depth about her situation with the company. According to Coco, Mo told her that the company was broke and they could not help fund her solo, so she had to hold a Kickstarter on her own. She was hurt when she found out the company had already been working on Sori's debut, and she felt lied to about the company's financial situation.
But yeah, I thought they were broke. I thought my company said they were broke. They didn't have money to support me. So I had to do a Kickstarter. I had to ask all my close friends to do everything. But it was because they're preparing for hers. And they even raised a Kickstarter for her, but they shouldn't have because they put in like triple or quadruple the money that they raised for the Kickstarter on her. So like, for example, we raised the same amount of like 20k. My production was limited to the 20k. Like I couldn't max out like over it, or they would like tell me like, no, we don't have money for that. We only raised 20k. They kept telling me
She
that.
continued to explain that the company heavily helped Sori through the process and even started a Kickstarter for her and raised quadruple the amount for her solo, while Coco was restricted to her budget. This news of course made headlines all over the media. And in February of 2019, Mo released a statement on their own. The company claimed that they tried to resolve the issue with Coco without making it a legal battle, but Coco refused. Because Coco slandered the company, she broke her contract and Mo would take legal action against the artist. She made several claims such as the company was broke and she had to pay out of pocket for her singing lessons. According to the company, her actions affected the company's relationship with 2 major broadcasting stations because Coco would skip out on scheduled promotion to focus on her YouTube channel. A separate incident was when Coco begged the company for the duo to make a comeback. The company did suffer through financial hardship, but they moved forward with her request and started a Kickstarter. After the MV was released, Coco announced to the company that she no longer wanted to be a singer, but a few months later, she came back to the company with the idea for a song and solo project for herself. Mo claimed that they helped with a large portion covering costs in addition to the Kickstarter money, but Coco lied about how much the project would actually cost. The company also responded to her favoritism claims. They explained that they do not share their artists' affairs to other artists out of respect for their privacy. They did not tell Sori about Coco's solo debut, and they did the same when they did not tell Coco about Sori's solo debut. The company claims that Coco is the one at fault in the matter, and she is using her influence to sway the public because companies are often seen as the bad guys. They ended the statement by confirming Coco Sori disbanded. November 2019, Coco released a video titled, "It's Time to Move On, Lawsuit," in parentheses. This video was very different from her previous uploads. In the 1-minute video, she stated that she does not want people to attack her agency. Her case had been dismissed, and she successfully nullified her contract, and there was no bad feelings between her and her former company or a member. Daisy is a former member of Momoland that debuted in 2016 under MLD Entertainment. In 2019, Daisy was rumored to be dating Icon Song. MLD confirmed the dating rumors while YG Entertainment ended up denying them. Ever since her dating scandal happened, Daisy went on hiatus, but it was suspiciously too long. Fans demanded to know the idol's whereabouts, and MLD told them that Daisy was taking a break due to her health concerns and personal reasons. During her hiatus, 2 of the members left the group, while MLD said that they were still in discussion with Daisy. In January of 2020, Daisy, accompanied with her mother, did an interview with News 9. They made several allegations against the company. The young idol stated that MLD did not let her promote with the group for 8 months because of her inner conflict with the company. Daisy requested to nullify her contract with the company, but MLD requested a 1.1 billion won fee for her cancellation. Daisy's mom told News 9 that Daisy fully intended on continuing her promotions with Momoland, but the company rejected and told her that it was better for her to sit out of promotions. Then, Daisy went on to claim finding Momoland, their survival show that formed Momoland, was rigged. The singer alleged the show was previously planned. Daisy was originally eliminated on the show, but the company called her afterwards and told her not to worry because they had a plan. She further stated that the company collected money from the members to cover production costs for the show, alluding to kind of buying their positions within the group. MLD Entertainment released a statement made by Daisy and her mother. MLD claimed that the CEO saw potential in Daisy and offered for her to remain in the company after the show. Touching on the statement that Daisy made that the members paid for the show, MLD expressed that the money was collected based on legal agreements approved by both the members and their parents. They ended their statement by saying that they would be taking legal action against the idol. In May of 2020, it was reported that Daisy officially had left the group. GOT7 were a 7-member boy group under JYP Entertainment. Recently, Their contracts had come to an end when all members decided not to resign and sign under different companies, but they assured their fans that they would not disband. Over the years, the members never hid their frustration with the company and would often speak out about production and management side of things. The members were heavily restricted when it came to individual projects. It had been known within the fandom that the company had blocked numerous opportunities from the boys. Jinyoung and Mark wanted to pursue an acting career on the side, but it was hard for them to branch out into acting domestically or internationally because JYP would often turn down offers for them or just cancel them completely.
今年可以演戏的话，我就应该会很开心的吧。
한번 다른 스케줄 못 가게 됐어.
아 형?
나 다른 스케줄에서는 못 가게 됐어. 그래서 그것 때문에 원래 미국 가려고 했는데 그거 있어서 못 가는데 취소돼서 이제 어차피 부흥대 오니까 갔지.
Youngjae, the main vocalist, asked for a solo album a few times but never got one. He also reflected back to the time when he was a trainee. Youngjae was often criticized and belittled by JYP. The young idol would be approached by JYP and told him that he was the reason the group wasn't successful. JB would often write and produce many of their songs. He opened up several times on his experiences with getting approval from JYP. JB also fell victim to changing the lyrics for their title track Eclipse over 20 times. JB himself said in a live that there's at least 15 different versions of the song, and the process was so stressful that it affected his health. The boys were always supportive with each other, and it became an inside joke within the group and fandom that JYP was a tough critic of theirs and constantly trying to outdo his own boy group. Yookyung is a former member of Apink, debuting in 2011 as a part of the original lineup. Her unexpected departure caused fans to question why she would leave so impromptu. One of the many rumors was that she was getting bullied by the members. There was some discourse in the group and even saying that the young idol's father was paying for their dorms. To quiet down the public, the company released a statement that the idol wanted to continue her education and that was the reason for her departure. In 2015, Yookyung's father blasted the company over social media in a thread post alleging the company kicked out his daughter. Here's what he had to say. I've noticed that there are some people on the internet hating Yookyung. Reminded me when CEO Cheol demanded that Yookyung leave the group, and I asked him why. He asked back if I didn't read anything on the internet. There are also people hating on Apink, but what power do these kids have? Even before Yookyung, there were members who were kicked out of the group and had to go back home to their parents. Their parents would come back and beg the CEO to let them stay in the group. The kids have done nothing wrong. Cube is not at fault either because A-Cube is another company. The CEO Hang, that I knew, is a good person, although he is at fault for debuting his Cube trainees under a different agency. I'm tweeting because I noticed some false rumors going around and I wanted to speak on the truth. 2 years ago, I would have been more careful in case something happened to the members, but they are a lot more popular now. I'm not worried anymore. Staying quiet will actually turn false rumors into truth now. And about all the rumors about the members fighting or me paying for their dorms are false and not worth responding to. Just look at their personalities of the kids. The agency is not normal at all for demanding the money that they are. Unusual for a company, but they never spoke publicly about the claims her father made or sued him for defamation. A company would usually try to take legal action, so it's strange nothing was done about it. According to fans back then, the company CEO was known to be rather rude to its trainees and fans, as well as having a bad reputation for kicking out members and having their parents beg them to get back into the company. On February 1st, Yookyung was interviewed and explained what happened after her departure from the group back in 2013. She was asked why she left Apink and the industry entirely. Her heartbreaking response, I was more desperate than anyone. I had one of the longest training periods among the members. I worked really hard to debut. I even dreamt about it a few days ago. I miss that life. Yookyung said that after parting ways with Apink, she was approached by a different company and offered to join their new girl group. Conflicted with her choice of wanting to keep pursuing her idol career and fear of making her former girl group look bad, she ultimately ended up declining the offer. I was worried re-debuting would harm Apink. I wanted to go for it again. I think I was dreaming. I was worried if I joined another company, I'd never be able to rejoin Apink. I'm still cheering on Apink. I memorized all of their choreography. That's why I wanted to succeed. I wanted to succeed and cheer on Apink with a pure heart. I also wanted to succeed so that I could rejoin them one day. Speculation surfaced once again. Her interview and her father's claims seem to align that Yookyung always wanted to be a part of Apink and hoped that she could rejoin the group all these years. While she is no longer an idol, she is now pursuing her passion as a fashion designer and wishes the group more success, cheering them from the sidelines. Mina is a former member of AOA, also known as Ace of Angels. She debuted with the girl group back in 2012, and her group slowly rose to success over the years and won many achievements. During the time of their contract renewal back in 2019, all of the remaining members re-signed with their label except Mina. The group had lost members over the years, so her decision to leave the group was not all that shocking. FNC Entertainment accompanied the news of her departure with the statement. FNC claimed that Mina decided to leave the group to, quote, take a different path and make her new dreams come true. Fans assumed that the new path meant the idol would be making the transition into acting, since she had acted in several dramas since her time as an idol. On July 3rd of 2020, Mina would slowly open up on her years of bullying from a member in her group and the trauma she lives with. She detailed the painful memories without naming the member. However, with the details provided, netizens were able to pinpoint what member Mina was referring to. In her post, Mina would later name her bully by her name and call her out in her former company, FNC. To be honest, I really didn't want to leave AOA, but because of one person who hated me, I was bullied for about 10 years, and by the end, I was so angry that I wanted to curse at her just once. In the end, I gave up AOA. Mina continued to say that she brought the issue with FNC, but they didn't do much besides nullify her contract. Because of the major media attention surrounding the bullying accusations, FNC finally spoke up on the matter. This is FNC Entertainment. First, we would like to apologize for causing concern to many people through the events related to Jimin that have been unfolding recently. From this moment forth, Jimin has decided to leave AOA and halt all of her activities in the entertainment industry. Additionally, our agency accepts responsibility for the entire situation, and we will put our full focus on managing our artists in the future. Mina has since then dealt with self-harm and mental health issues and decided to take a leave from the industry to focus on her recovery. I made a full video on the subject that goes way more into detail. Sally is a former member of the now disbanded girl group Gugudan. The group was active from 2016 to 2018 and had a dry spell between 2019 to 2020 when the group officially met their disbandment. The group was never as popular as most girl groups during their time, despite the previous exposure from Produce 101 and two of their members winning and being a part of IOI. Before their disbandment, Sally participated on China's version of Produce 101, and she won. While on the show, she expressed her painful time being a member of Gugudan and how the company treated the girls. She said that the company basically kicked out all the members in Gugudan from their dorms and told them that there was no need for them to come back. Her full interview reads as follows. I was a trainee for 5 months before I officially debuted. That was when I realized I was really lacking a lot. When we would go to music stations to promote and do other performances, other members would have their programs, but I will only be there for the schedule, when the majority of the group is present. If they are promoting in small groups, I would not be there. Because our groups had 2 members that had already had their own fan bases, most of everyone's attention were on them. The difference is very big. Even in big stages, I would not see anyone holding LED signs with my name, and at that time, it did not feel so good. Sally is currently a member of Bon Bon Girls and continues her singing career. The Eastlight were a 6-member boy group under Media Line Entertainment. The members range from 15 to 18 years old. The group debuted in 2016 and gained a small fan base that they would call Sunnies. They are bright and talented young boys with lots of potential and gave us just as bright and cheerful music. However, in 2018, the public would become aware of the abuse the boys were suffering behind the scenes. October 18, 2018, the media received a leak that the members were being abused both physically and verbally by their producers and CEO. October 19, 2018, leader Cheol held a press conference and shared the terrible, heart-shattering experience he, along his bandmates, suffered. The then 18-year-old stated that the abuse started at the age of 13 or 14. As the leader of Eastlight, as one of the K-pop artists who lead Korean culture, I could no longer tolerate the pain that our members were going through. We decided to hold a press conference in hopes of eliminating and violating human rights in the K-pop industry. From 2015 to 2017, the producer repeatedly made us get on the floor as he hit our with baseball bats and iron bars in the practice room or in the recording studio. He even threatened to kill us if we ever told our parents. My brother was locked in a recording studio and the producer hit his head, thighs, arms so many times. His head had and bruises. He's been traumatized after all the threats and violence, and he is currently getting psychotherapy treatment. His lawyer then spoke on the behalf and said the parents were unaware of the until they became aware of one incident. The company promised the parents that they'd never do it again. Cheol's younger brother Hyun, who was also part of the group, went to the company and CEO and told him that the abuse they were receiving from the producer. The company responded back by kicking him from the group and the company. Their parents were confused when they found out he was kicked out, and they pleaded with the boys to tell them everything that went on. After the news was released to the public, K-pop fans from all over the world showed their support to their boys and were horrified and upset that these young boys suffered so much. Netizens and the media then found previous clips that alluded to the abuse. In a video from their YouTube page, there is a clip where 3 of the members are in frame, and one of the members could be heard off screen repeating saying, "It was a mistake," and you could hear that he was being hit with something. Member Eun-sung said, "Actually, on the way here, Cheol was playing music in the car and had opened the sunroof without starting the engine, doing everything he wanted to do, so the battery in one of the cars died. He is being disciplined by our manager." The member then goes to turn the camera to the member and the manager, but the clip gets cut to a black screen that says the video was deleted at the request of the agency. JTBC also received an audio clip of a separate incident. The audio was then translated. "Once you put things into my hands, you just have to leave it, even if I beat you." Imagine making it to the news with the as a celebrity. You guys wouldn't have anywhere to stand, and who would want to take these kids with issues? You shouldn't blow things up. You shouldn't. Your mom and dad will be in more pain. It'll be 10 times more painful. Medialine Entertainment issued an apology in response. Firstly, as a person who is responsible for Medialine Entertainment and the Eastlight, I am strongly aware of the fault and apologize profusely for what has arisen because I was unable to properly manage the staff. As I watched Cheol's press conference, my heart ached as much as it did when I first found out, a year and 4 months ago, that the members had been victims of. However, as was stated yesterday, while working with many artists in the past 30 years of my career, I have never instigated or abetted violence. I humbly accept the criticism in regards to my mistakes and negligence, and I will try to dispel all doubts by approaching them with honesty. However, for the future of remaining 4 members of the Eastlight, we will be making an active response in regarding of the acts of defamation committed through exaggerating false information. Medialine then went on to terminate the remaining members' contracts, and the CEO and producers resigned from the company. The brothers said that they would proceed with filing a legal complaint and hope to end child abuse within K-pop. In May of 2020, updates of the trial were revealed. 2 of the former members, Hyun-sung and Jung Se-gung, were accused of perjury. The law firm defending the E brothers released a statement on the matter. The Supreme Court would sentence former CEO Kim Chung-hwa an 8-month sentence with 2 years of probation for aiding and abetting child abuse, and former producer Moon Young-gil was sentenced 1 year and 4 months. Hangeng is a former member of Super Junior and Super Junior M, making his debut in 2005. In 2009, Hangeng requested SM to terminate his contract, which astounded the masses and didn't believe the news when it first came out. Super Junior were in the height of their career, just releasing one of their hit songs, Sorry Sorry, being nominated for multiple awards, and overall reaching more success than ever before. So why did the idol decide to leave the group at its peak popularity? Hangeng did an interview in 2010 where he detailed the unfair treatment he received. Being one of the few foreign members, or even a K-pop idol at the time, he felt helpless and lost, not being familiar with the language or cultural differences. In his first year of activities, he only made $650 due to his limitations. He also stated that he told SM he wanted to become an actor and do more activities on the side like his other members. They were doing variety shows and CFs independently, but when it came to him, SM would dismiss his request. In 2008, SM debuted Hangeng in their subunit Super Junior M, which was meant to cater to their Chinese fan base. He was upset and felt that SM was making him debut as rookie again, which added more stress financially and emotionally. The idol felt underappreciated and restricted from the company, which made him finally take the plunge to file for his contract termination. He felt that by moving forward with his case, it would bring awareness and change on how the entertainment companies treat their foreign idols. B.A.P were a 6-member boy group formed by TS Entertainment. They debuted in 2012 and grew a large and strong fan base, skyrocketing into popularity. In 2014, all 6 members filed a lawsuit against their company on the grounds of unfair working conditions and profit distribution. The members stated that the contract was designed to benefit the company and not the members. The members had only received $17,000 after 3 years of activities. The boys were a successful and popular group, so it shocked the public to hear that they made very little within that time span. B.A.P claimed that they were working under a slave contract. If one of the members missed an activity for any reason, health concern or other, they were expected to make up for their lost schedule as soon as possible, even if they were injured. The members would further explain that the company would disregard their doctor's orders and threaten the members to take legal action if they did not participate in activities. There were several occasions where the members were seen pushing through exhaustion, injuries, or sickness on stage. When the members were injured, all the medical expenses were covered by their parents and not the company. The members were in poor health, both physically and mentally. On the financial side, when the boys would be asked about their payments, TS would fail to provide them any explanation to where the money was going or how it was being distributed. TS Entertainment issued a press release speaking on behalf of the situation. They stated that there is no such mistreatment to the artists, nor unfair clauses in the contract. TS Entertainment claimed that the group became profitable after 2 years and showed an overview of their profit and earnings. They claimed that the group were plotting a lawsuit and a separate company were trying to poach the group. B.A.P released a second statement and stated that they were considering filing for defamation because TS were painting them as liars. Surprising just about everyone, in 2015, TS Entertainment and B.A.P reached an agreement, and the group went back to the company. The group would release several albums under TS up until 2018, when members Yookyung and Zilo left once their contracts expired, and the remaining 4 members would also choose not to resign, leaving in 2019. Like I said in the last video, we do not know the full extent of these situations and the experiences these idols face behind the scenes. Unfortunately, there have been more cases that have been covered and possibly some we may never know. What are your thoughts on the K-pop industry and these contracts? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.